You might say he was committed to USC before he even had an offer. Madden Riordan, he shut down his commitment way back, November 2023. He's part of the 2026 recruiting class.
You are Locked On USC, your daily podcast on the USC Trojans, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hey, fight on, everyone. I'm your host, Mark Holkin, and thanks for making Locked On USC. It's part of the Locked On Network, your first listen every day. Whether you're watching the show on YouTube, pick your platform, download this podcast. It's always going to be free. I'm always going to appreciate your support. Today's episode, it's brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers, you're going to get $200 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. All right. A bunch of guys from USC's 2026 recruiting class, they've been letting everyone know they're shutting it down. However, Madden Riordan, he's our guest on today's episode. He didn't need to announce his recruitment was shut down. And here's how we know that. His dad put it out there. It was shut down the second after he received the offer before he even committed. I think it's safe to say Madden, his family, these guys are playing for keeps. They're cardinal and gold to the bone. And if you're looking up the word playmaker, if you're looking at the dictionary, if you're doing a Google search and you're looking for a playmaker, you're going to see this dude's face right next to the description. Madden, welcome to the show. How's everything going, man?
It's going great. Appreciate you for having me on. All the kind words. Really appreciate it.
No problem. Are you you're right now, are you going through finals? You done with finals now, or last week of school?
Yeah, so I have my last finals tomorrow and then I'm done.
Big sigh of relief. Big sigh of relief for you? Oh, yeah.
Sorry, my internet is just going. What did you say?
I said, is that a big sigh of relief for you, knowing tomorrow's that last day?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's been a rough year, junior year, a little bit harder. So definitely.
Got it. All right. So you've been committed since November 2023, as I mentioned at the top. In this whole era of guys, committing, decommitting, how did you not get caught up in any of that? Why are you so steadfast?
Well, I feel like I've known where I wanted to go, and it just felt like home since the beginning, and everything. There isn't any other place that I feel more comfortable at, especially being from LA and just being able to stay home. And like the fit with Coach Riley was the biggest thing. I committed under a different defensive staff, but I committed to Coach Riley, and his plan for what he wanted the next couple of classes to be California-wise has not changed or wavered. And I mean, you could see it coming to fruition right now with the coaching staff and the personnel and everything. He said this was his plan since the beginning, and I just trusted him all the way through and see where it's got me.
There you go. So you play for Sierra Canyon. I mean, this is one of the best programs in Southern California. 5'11". What are you weighing now? On3 has you listed at 145 pounds. What's your playing weight right now?
I'm like at 165 to like 168 right now. Yeah, we're still working on that. Yeah.
So you play safety, correct? Is that your primo spot?
This year probably, yeah, but I play everything. I'm probably gonna play. I would have probably more nickel at USC, nickel, safety, both. I got to learn both, definitely.
So as a sophomore at Sierra Canyon, you had 3 interceptions? I think you forced 3 fumbles. Last year, you were crazy numbers. These are like EA Sports numbers. 11 interceptions, is that right?
Yeah.
Can you beat that number in 2025? Is that possible?
I think it's possible. I don't know if I'm going to do it. Definitely. I mean, I have different goals for this year coming up, personal goals, but I'm definitely going to try to. Let's see if they throw it towards me. I mean, the second half of the season, they kind of avoided it, but I kind of still had to try to make plays. Right. But I'm definitely going to strive to get there, but I'm not going to beat myself up if I can't beat it, Yeah,
like I said, those are some crazy numbers. I saw that, and I literally had to do a double take. Is that 2 seasons worth? And it's like, no, that happened last year. So that's remarkable. This is why I said playmaker. You're looking at him right now. You talked about Lincoln Riley. Talk about your relationship with Coach Doug Belk. You've got, obviously, He's going to be your position coach. You've got Lynn, defensive coordinator. He's also a safeties guy. Trojan Reed came on board recently. Bookie. Talk about each of those guys for, just for a couple minutes. What each of those guys bring to the table and why, you're looking forward to working with those guys.
Like I said, Coach Riley just had a plan since the beginning, I would say, and I've trusted him, and he hasn't like really had any lies he said or anything. And Coach Lynn was one of like the first people to like confirm my like commitment from the old staff. He communicated with me well with me and Marquise when Marquise was at my school.
Okay.
So he came to the school, I would say, right after he got hired. He talked to Marquise and I, and like just made sure I stay committed and everything. And just talking to him football wise, he's gonna blow your mind, scheme wise. He's not like a guy that's gonna try to recruit you on lies or like promises, but he's just gonna talk football with you and like understand how you fit into that scheme and everything. And then Coach Belk, he's just a really cool guy. I mean, I went to dinner with him last week with my dad and him,
Okay.
and we just talked football and just how recruiting has changed and everything, and how comfortable I feel going into there into the situation. Coach Reed, new relationship definitely since he's just came on, but he's called me a couple times. I talked to him in person. Different voice in the DB room, I would say, different energy, 100%. And I don't know if I'm missing anybody, but
Do you
yeah.
have any type of relationship with Bookie? I mean, he's kind of the
Oh yeah,
glue.
Book. Yeah, that's my guy. Yeah. So actually, a lot of my coaches coached him when he was younger.
Okay.
So they have a relationship with him, and that's probably gonna be my positions coach because he coaches the nickels and everything. And he's always taking me under his wing and everything, just trying to get me caught up with the playbook and everything early, and just pointers and tips.
I mean, how cool is that though? That the defensive staff, the vast majority of the guys, they're all secondary guys. I mean, that's a lot of brains that you get to pick with a lot of experience to kind of bring into your own playbook, so to speak. So I mean that's kind of unique to see that many guys who have played the secondary, who coach the secondary as a specialty.
Yeah.
You mentioned that the staff probably sees you at nickel. Is that where you think you're most comfortable, or do you see yourself maybe playing the boundary, playing on the outside of the corner?
I probably wouldn't say corner just because I wouldn't want to say like sound cocky or anything, but you're kind of like wasting me at corner. I feel like
Okay.
just because I could use more like my football IQ and like instincts at safety and nickel to be around the ball. I feel like if I'm at corner, you could kind of go away from me a lot of the times, and I can't be as much as an impact as if I'm at safety. I can make an impact on like every single play, or at nickel, I can make an impact in the run and the pass.
So it sounds like and trust me, that's not arrogant, that's not cocky, that's confident. It sounds like you're a real student of the game. How much time do you actually spend watching film, looking at tendencies, stuff like that?
Too much. You would get bored. Way too much. I mean, I like, and when I have AP US history, and like I'm a smart kid. Like I could get past it, but I would say like 75% of that class I'm watching film or whatever. Like yeah, a lot of the year you could catch me with upwards probably 2.5 a week, like just throughout the season. I mean, you would get mad at me for how much film I watch instead of doing like the homework and everything.
Uh, I think what you're saying right now is just making USC fans going, all right, get this guy on campus as quickly as possible. He's going to contribute right away. No, that's fantastic, because when you have everything going on in your head and you've seen it before, all of a sudden your instincts kind of take over. It's not so much read react. It's just like, okay, let's go do this. It just comes naturally. So the fact that you spend so much time studying the game, I mean, that's music to a coach's ears. They're going to love you. So nothing to be ashamed of there at all. We got 2 more segments to go. We are literally I'm doing a countdown to game day. When this show goes up for tomorrow, we're 93 days away from kickoff. I mean, it's
That's
beat the
crazy.
Bears. Yeah. Are you going to be there first game?
Who do we play? Oh,
Missouri State. Labor Day weekend.
yeah, I'm probably there. I was there like every single game.
All right. We got 2 more segments to go. And let's
Sorry, can I get 1 second real quick? My
Sure.
brother needs me real quick.
Do what you got to do. Want to hit pause. All right. So trust me, I get it. Family. I got 2 younger brothers I grew up with. Stuff happens. All right. 2 more segments to go. The NBA playoffs are in full swing right now, and every night is delivering highlight-worthy performances, major momentum shifts, can't miss moments. FanDuel, it makes it easy to stay in the game before the tip-off, as well as when the game is live. With player prop bets, performance trends, same-game parlays, fans have more ways than ever to play smart, win big. Which players are showing up in the biggest moments right now? You following the trends? Who's hitting that three-pointer? Who's scoring their first point with a free throw? If you've got a read on who's heating up, what's happening, those trends, why not back it up with a same-game parlay? How would $200 in bonus bets sound if you win your first $5 bet? That's all it takes. Bet $5, win, you get $200 in bonus bets. So if you're new to FanDuel, it's the perfect time to sign up. Head to FanDuel.com. Place your first $5 bet. If it wins, you get $200. Make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. All right, Madden. So the 2026 class recently, the secondary at least, it had a decommitment last week. But you know what? It's okay. RJ Sermons, he didn't go very far. He left 2026. He's now part of the 2025 recruiting class. He just wanted to get that head start, on his career at USC. Let me ask you this, though. Obviously, he's not going to be part of your chat group anymore. Maybe he will.
No, he is. We kept it in.
Okay. How often do you guys who are committed talk to each other in that group?
Every single day. Definitely. Just whether it's games, games, joking around with the coaches, with Coach Dog, and he's a coach, and Chad. They're probably the most vocal in the group chat. But if it's just joking around with them or iMessage games, I would definitely say every day.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Coach Dog, Aaron Ama. Really good dude. When you say Coach Chad, you talking about Chad Savage or Chad Bowden?
No. Chad Bowden, yeah.
Got it. We'll talk about him here in just a second. Who are some of the recruits that you're trying to bring in to kind of finish up that class?
Well, I'm really close with Madden Williams from St. John Bosco, and I definitely say we have a shot with him. Talanoa Ely, who just moved out to Kahuku. We all played together when we were 14 on our youth team. So those are 2 of my closest friends who I think we have a good shot with.
You brought up Madden Williams, and yes, USC is definitely putting the push on with him. So far during your high school career, because I just watched Madden the last little under 2 weeks ago at Milliken in the Tournament of Champions League. Good player, him and Vance Spafford. Who are some of the toughest receivers you've gone up against so far in your career?
Well, definitely Madden. I didn't personally guard him, but he had like 200 yards against us. But him, I haven't gone against Vance, but I played with Vance my 7th, 8th, and 9th grade year for 7-on-7. That's one of my close friends. I definitely think we still have a shot with him, but I don't know. It's one of my. But Daniel Odom at St. John Bosco, obviously. And then one of my close friends who's from up north, Caden Dixon Wyatt, he's a monster, who just committed to Ohio State, which is great for him, his family. But I would definitely say them 3. If I'm missing a lot of other people, but
there's a lot of them out there. I mean,
oh yeah,
California is loaded in 2026, 2027. And that's
yeah.
why USC is recruiting the state so hard, especially SoCal. You brought up Chad Bowden's name a couple minutes ago. Talk about the juice that he's squeezing right now. What's the difference he's made since he's arrived?
Definitely just his personality and like just his authenticity, like everything. He's just really real with everything. Just cool guy to talk to. He's not gonna like sugarcoat anything. He's gonna tell you how it is and how he wants it to be. I appreciate that, the honesty and everything, and just his message and how he's trying to get it done is step by step, and you could see it.
You were at the USC Junior Day that's kind of when this whole thing started to come to fruition. Everybody kind of coming back home, wanting to stay at USC, which is a great thing. Is that kind of when you noticed it as well?
Yeah, I would definitely say that because that junior day, a lot of people don't realize, but it was mostly California kids. It
Right.
was a lot of people would see, like, I mean, Jonas was there. That was the first time we saw Jonas, but it was mostly California kids, and we were just having fun, eating. It felt like a 7-on-7 tournament, out here, like with a lot of my friends. How we just like between games, go hang out and everything, or like all the 7-on-7 trips we take together as like a team. Me, Vance, and Brandon Lockhart, like I mean, Madden Williams as well. We all played on the same 7-on-7 team. So we took these trips, outside of the California, without our parents, it was mostly just us just hanging out. And it just felt like one of those, that vibe, and we were just like thinking like if everyone were to play on the same team again, how great that was. Like we didn't lose when we were together. So in all this.
I mean, this class that you guys are putting together, I'm just talking about the secondary right now. It's something special. I mean, you're talking about yourself. You got Josh Holland. They're recruiting him as an athlete. Brandon Lockhart. You got the best guy out of the state of Ohio, Albert Hill. And again, you had RJ Sermons in part of this class as well until he reclassified. Is this kind of weird? I mean, is this normal to have this much talent wanting to play together? And you guys are
Well,
a young
we're
team as
all from
well.
the same spot, so
Right?
except for Albert, but I'll say it's normal for out here. We all want to compete, push each other, build on each other. We all see ourselves fitting in like a puzzle piece. Like a big puzzle. All of
Right.
us help each other and everything. I mean, we've all been in meeting rooms together already at USC on our visits and everything, and just seeing how we fit into that and how we could better the program and the USC secondary for years to come.
Do you guys listen to any of that outside noise? You know how sometimes the California players get a little disrespected. I'm not a huge star rankings guy. I look at who's recruiting you. If I look at the programs, if USC and Miami and Texas A&M and Cal, if they're coming after you, you're a pretty damn good player. I don't need to see how many stars are hanging above your name. Do you? But look, we're all human. Do you kind of see some of that stuff and kind of get the sense that California gets a little bit of disrespect compared to other parts of the country?
Well, definitely. I mean, you could just see it by like Tom's ranking. I just saw the thing today.
Crazy.
Like I don't understand it. I mean, I don't really care that much. I get it. They're basing it off what they believe and how they do their things. So what I
You
view
fall into
myself,
that category. Yeah, you fall into that category. That's why I'm bringing it up.
yeah, it's whatever. I mean, it's not that
Like
big
I
of a
said,
deal.
I don't know how you put up 11 interceptions in a season and saying, well, you're over here. And I think they base it off of the intangibles. What you guys
Just
look like in
wait.
t- underwear. Exactly. It's stupid. It's
But
ridiculous.
like I'm never gonna be playing at 165, so like at USC, so like I don't I don't get it either.
Anyways, yeah, I'm hoping you have a little bit of a chip on your shoulder because yeah, California for whatever reason they got that. It's a soft place type of
Yeah, the
label.
27 class is disrespected as well. When I
I know.
when I saw that, I'm like, those modern day DBs are like ranked so low. I'm like, how are you gonna have Jo and like Danny and all these dudes like the 25th best DB in the country when they start for the number one team in the country and produce? I don't I don't know.
Here's a question somebody wanted me to ask you: who's better between you and Havon Finney?
Nah, we play different positions. Haven's a corner, but I can't even say that. But no, Haven's one of my very, very close friends. I love Haven to death. But we play
Yeah,
different positions. It's kind of hard to
you're,
compare.
you're working on getting him to USC, right?
I'm working. I've been working, but it's whether the coaching staff is working. I mean,
You got what you just said makes a lot of sense. I don't think a lot of fans really pay attention to. So
but I think they should trust the coaching staff and what they view and how they recruit. I mean,
absolutely.
if they want to recruit certain people, they recruit certain people. I mean, whether stars or whatever. Like I get it. Haven's gonna be one of the best DBs in the country. I would recruit him to death. I would want him to,
Right.
like when it's all said and done. But I'm happy for him. I love his dad. I grew up with Haven. We all played together. We're gonna have a great season this year and everything.
Yeah, you guys are loaded. You guys are loaded this year. All right, two more quick questions in this segment before we relax a little bit. Who is your favorite Trojan of all time? And same thing, who do you try to emulate yourself when you're playing on the field?
Well, my favorite Trojan, I grew up watching Robert Woods, Marquise Lee. Those are two of my favorite. Um, some other people from Pasadena where I grew up, like Marvell Tell, Tyler Vaughns, Stephen Mitchell. Those are people I grew up watching and like grew up training with. Kalen Bullock, who's from Pasadena too.
Right?
Um, I love all those dudes. Grew up watching them. But personally, I like to watch Trey McDuffie a lot of the time. I think a lot of me and him have a lot of similarities. Um, Versatility wise, IQ wise, size wise, speed wise, and the things that he could do, I believe that I could do. Obviously he does it at a higher level, but I could see myself fitting into that mold. Definitely. But I watched a lot of him.
Has anybody ever, called you the honey badger?
I've gotten it a couple times, yeah, definitely. But I mean,
I,
me and him have a little bit different builds, body wise, I would say.
yeah,
Yeah,
but I watched both of you play. You've got a nose for the ball. You like to play physical. You've got those same types of intangibles. So it's not a bad person to be compared to, by the way.
just I know.
All right, last question of this segment. If you had to choose between a pick six or a safety blitz that kills the quarterback, which one do you like? Which one do you like doing the most?
Pick six because they actually don't let me blitz. They don't ever let me blitz. We
You haven't
have
been yet, huh?
one of my best friends, Miles Baker, who is the other safety. He's a 4-star safety as well. He's a
Okay.
little bit bigger guy, so if we're blitzing, we might as well send him, and keep me in the post. So
Do you
I've
ever ask?
always tried to get it. I'm like, let me go, let me go. They never let me go, but it's all
Maybe
right.
they'll have a surprise for you for your senior season. Fingers crossed,
Yeah,
right?
I'm hoping. I'm like putting on weight. I'm like, you could let me blitz once. Like they don't let me.
Gotcha. All right, one more segment to go.
I
This one
understand it though.
we're gonna have a lot of fun. Hang tight. All right, Madden. So someone sent me a message and said, you're a Chargers fan. Your dad is a Raiders fan. What's it like in the house on those game days?
Uh, Hostile, definitely growing up. My goddad, who I grew up with, like with my dad, he's a Chargers fan, so
Okay.
I guess that kind of like bleeded off into me. But we've gone to games a bunch of times, and it gets a little heated, definitely. Um, Especially like over COVID and everything, or I wasn't really going to school. So like I got really invested in like the Chargers and like the NFL and everything, and we had a couple good battles then and everything. But definitely like hostile.
Yeah. I've been to a Raiders Chargers game before, and yeah, and this was when it was at the Coliseum. So it was, yeah,
Yeah.
you wore your Raiders gear, and if you were a Chargers fan, you kept it on the down low. So like I said, I'd be interested to kind of just be a fly on the wall during one of those games where you and your dad are having some fun with each other, just to kind of check it out. All right, we're gonna kind of peel the curtain back a little bit now. Kind of who is Madden when he's not playing football. Kind of get to know who you are, type of thing. So you mentioned you're a really smart dude. You mentioned AP history. You're so good at history that you kind of, I know it. I'll watch game film. Have you decided what you want to major in yet when you get to USC, or is that still something you're deciding on?
Yeah, so I've talked with a bunch of the USC academic counselors and everything. I'm trying to get into Marshall, which is the business school at USC, and they think I have a great shot. So I'm taking a couple classes over summer, as long as because I'm graduating early, so extra classes over summer. I'm trying to major in sports administration or sports management,
Okay.
which is something that I really want to do. GM, like player personnel stuff, coaching. That's something I want to go into after I'm done. So that's something I look forward to, and I'm trying to. I'm gonna do some internships with Chad Bowden, over the summer to just get
wow.
some of those hours in. Since he's our GM and everything, I could like bleed into that and learn from that and everything that he has to offer. So that's definitely something I want to get into.
Dude, you are knocking down doors. You're going places regardless of what happens. I
Trying to.
see you looking at the future right now. That you're starting. Look, when you want to be successful, you hang around successful people. And if you're going to be interning for Chad, good choice. Good job. All right. What's your favorite movie all time?
I like any Adam Sandler movie, old school, Happy Gilmore. I grew up with a lot of my watching those with my dad, grown ups, definitely.
Did you have you ever watched any of the old SNL clips when he was on there on YouTube or anything like that?
Not really. Not really, no.
Yeah, he's funny, dude. I like Adam Sandler a lot as well. So good
Yeah.
choice. When you're not playing football, you're not studying, you don't have your nose in the book. What are some of your hobbies? What do you like to do?
I'm really into filmmaking. My freshman and sophomore year, I took filmmaking classes at my school. Um, I've done some things filmmaking wise, edit wise, camera wise. That's something I want to do in my future, definitely. But I've learned from some other people at my school who are really good in the animation and everything, and just tips from them. Um, Definitely. Um, yeah, I'm a huge movie guy, huge Marvel guy. Star Wars, Harry Potter. I'm huge into Harry Potter and Star Wars. I got really big into that last year. I would say I had a lot of free time and everything, and yeah.
That's awesome, man. That is awesome to hear. I love watching old black and white movies. I'm obviously older than you, but I'm into movies too. And look, you're going to USC, and if you're into all that, they got a pretty good cinematic arts department as well if you decide
Yeah.
you want to change major. So you got it all covered there. All right. Favorite classes?
That's really hard. I hated English this year. I took AP Lang. That was so hard, but it prepared me definitely writing wise. I'll definitely say physics was my favorite class this year. Science. Um, that was Yeah, physics is pretty easy, pretty mellow and everything. But I would definitely say physics.
Okay. Folks who are watching and listening to the show, he just said physics are easy. This is we can agree to disagree.
Yeah, I have a good teacher.
Our young man right here. It sounds like we've got a rocket scientist coming at you.
I have a good
All
teacher.
What's your dream car?
I really like Teslas, even though I don't really like Elon Musk that much, but I've always wanted a Tesla or a nice electric car, something I could always have, for the future.
Got it. Okay. What's your last meal? If you could have whatever you want, what is your last meal?
Steak and mac and cheese, definitely. I had that Coach Belk and my dad and we went to where the Ruth Chris and I had a steak and mac and cheese, which was really good.
Good combo right there.
Yeah.
All right. This one's really important. Hot dog, mustard or ketchup? And if you say mayonnaise, I'm hanging up on you.
It's ketchup. My dad loves mustard though. Oh my god. My dad's a mustard guy. I hate mustard. I'm ketchup all the
Really?
way. Yeah.
All right. I got it. If you could have your own walkout music, you're coming out the tunnel. What's your vibe? What are you grooving to?
I'm not really like a big like listen to music before games type of guy or like walk out the tunnel. But something definitely hype if I'm coming out the tunnel. I can't be kind of chill. Um I don't really have any like a thing in mind because I'm not like the biggest like use music to get going. I kind of just I talk to myself most of the time and just talk through things.
One of the things that Antonlynn does before each game is he'll just walk around the field as many times. I don't know
Yeah.
how he does it, but he's got his his own playlist going. So it's kind
I
of
kind of just talk through things like plan B, plan SE, like stuff like that. Like what would I do? This, that.
dude. Cannot wait to get you on campus.
I
All right,
can't wait.
last one here. Mama's boy or dad's dude?
Well, I grew up with my dad, so I'm gonna have to say dad. my mom is still in my life, luckily, and everything, but I don't live with her, so I gotta say my dad.
See, this is what happens when you don't do enough research. You don't ask questions like that. So I apologize.
No. I'm fine. They're just divorced. Like I still see my mom every. I don't want to say like every week or anything, but I see her a lot. And my dad and my mom are cool, but I grew up with my dad.
Beautiful, outstanding. Madden, I can't say thank you enough for doing this. I wanted to give some insight to the Trojan fan base of what they're getting, what makes you so special, and why USC came after you so early. And again, the fact that you committed literally after you got the offer, like, all right, I'm done. Let's go. When do we start? That's special, especially in today's era of college football and recruiting. To see people who understand the word commitment, what it means, and stand behind it, love it a lot. So look forward. Maybe we'll be able to do this again in the future. I hope you have a great senior season. Hopefully I'll see you out there, if you're doing any of the passing leagues before then.
Yeah.
Again, thanks for doing the show. I'll be back with another episode tomorrow, everyone. We do this 5 times a week. So until that next episode, everyone, you know what to do.
Appreciate you.